You are welcome to the Live Again series as usual. I'm excited, always excited to bring to you this amazing series to help women live again. If you know me, I'm very passionate about women empowerment. Very passionate. I love to empower women. I believe that when a woman lives again, a whole generation lives again. And if a woman chooses to exist, it actually affects the entire generation, right? And that is why we're doing this. So welcome. I can see our guest is here, so let me quickly bring her up. Our guest is in the building, so let me bring her up very quickly. Quickly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello, good evening. See your fresh face.
I was like, that's so beautiful. Thank you for doing this.
Good evening, everyone. You are welcome to this IG Live series tagged the Live Again series. My name is Enifome, and I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again purposefully and profitably. And this Live Again series features women that are living again, women who understand that they shouldn't just exist, women who have been able to fight through adversity to become, the people that they are today. And I have the honor of introducing the one and only, the one and only, wait, calm down. Let me introduce you. Calm down. Ladies and the gentlemen that have joined us, right? Tinuke Atilade, she is a certified mental health counselor and advocate. She has a BSc in biochemistry and an MSc in management in health and social care from Oxford Brookes University, UK. She is the founder of Mumfessions. I'm sure some of you are from there, right? A platform that aims to break down the barriers women face when it comes to accessing emotional and mental support. She provides professional mental health support for women trying to conceive, pregnancy, and the postpartum period. Ladies, please let's welcome Tinuke Atilade, founder, Mom
Thank you.
Confessions. And for the gentleman in our midst, yes, her name is Tinuke Atilade. She has this amazing platform, Mom Confessions, where she just basically provides support to mothers and helps them. And she's doing an amazing work. So I just have to tell you that. Well done. Super well done. So I'm excited to have this conversation because you know me, I'm very passionate about helping women live again. And it actually came out of my own story. I was severely abused. Yeah, I was terribly. I don't know the other adjective to use to describe what happened to me, but I'm just grateful to be alive by the mercy of God. And I thought I was not going to, when God has saved you, just go and live your life and just be doing what you're doing. But I had an encounter with God where I had live again, and God said, "Go and help other women live again. You are living again now. That's not the end. Go and help other women live again." And that's really what birthed the Live Again movement and all the things that we do. So I know what it is for a woman to exist, and I know what it is for a woman to start living. Sometimes you don't even know how much you were truly existing until you now start living. And I'm sure you can relate with this. So I'm going to ask you the very first question, and that is, what does the term live again mean to you? When you hear live again, what does it mean to you? And for those in the chats, if you can contribute to when you hear live again, what does it mean to you as a person? Please type in the chats. But over to you. What does the term live again mean to you?
So for me, and because of my experience, live again will mean finding meaning or finding a purpose in whatever you experience, rediscovering your joy, and embracing growth. I think those three things.
Hmm. Hmm. Finding meaning, rediscovering purpose, right?
Your,
And embracing growth. Rediscovering your joy and
yes.
embracing growth. I like that because sometimes we're doing things and we don't have meaning to what we're doing. We're not finding the true meaning in what we're doing. It could even be as little as eating. There was a time when I was merely existing. I don't taste my food. I just eat. I was just a shadow. Like, you're eating and you can't even, yeah, you can't even take time to really chew your meal. That's how it was for me. So it can be as little as that. It can be a job that you're doing. There's no meaning. It can be, oh, you have everything in quotes, but you don't find meaning in anything. You're just existing. I like it. Then when you said rediscovering your joy, because sometimes a lot of people are smiling without true joy. I've been there. Where you just do like this.
So true.
Plastic smile. In all reach inside. I have been there.
That's all.
I have been there. So when you say it, I'm like, that is so deep. Because I have been there. Then you now said embracing growth. Embracing growth, which is, this is what I'm going through. But I choose to grow in spite of it. I choose to grow despite this. I choose to grow irrespective of this. I would choose growth. Instead of me to be in one spot and be stagnant, I choose growth. Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, next question. Have you ever been knocked down by life? Has there ever been a time where you were knocked down by life? And what did you do to bounce back or begin to live again?
So, yes, I have. I'm sure everybody has. But I'll share the experience that led me to the point I'm at today. After I had my first baby, it wasn't love at first sight. I was just really I didn't love her. I didn't feel any connection. I thought it would pass. You know, the nurses told me, oh, it happens sometimes, it will pass. But from there, I just experienced severe postpartum depression. Like, it just spiraled down from there. So I felt like a caretaker. I didn't feel like a mom the first few months. But I knew, okay, breastfeed. I was like a zombie, you know, breastfeed. She must not. So I wasn't even sleeping. Because I now started feeling guilty that people are congratulating you. Everybody is happy you have a child and you are not happy. And I don't think I was sad as much as numb. You know, I just didn't feel anything. So it was so bad that I started to feel guilty for not feeling what I thought I should feel. And then my work hours were erratic. I used to work as a project manager. I could not imagine going back to work. Already it's bad enough that you're not loving this child. You now want to leave her. You know, so I resigned from my job because I felt like the least I can do is just watch her 24/7. I wasn't going anywhere. All this while I didn't know it was postpartum depression per se, you know. So I left my job. At about 4 or 5 months, I started feeling that connection, feeling the love and all. Then I was ready to go back to work. I said, okay, when she turns 1, I'll go to work. So at 6 months, I started applying, but not too seriously, you know, since I said, okay, I have 6 months. When she turned 9 months, I started actively searching for a job, like very seriously. I was committed to every day, make sure you send out 10 applications, that kind of seriously. She turned 1 and I didn't have a job. And from there, the depression just came back. I started spiraling down again, you know. And I think I was punishing myself because I'll go and search my email box and check for unfortunately. I'll just see all these unfortunately emails. Like, I was so sad. Like, that sadness was so deep. For some reason, I don't know why I was doing it, but I kept punishing myself. You know, I would read these emails and just say, Miss, I'm not good enough. I'm not a good mom. I can't even get a job. So in all areas of my life, it's started affecting my relationship. So when she turned 18 months, my husband was like, let her start school. I know we said she's not starting till 3 and all, but you need to find yourself again, you know, like this is getting bad. So she started school at 18 months. I don't think I felt anything. But after she went to school, I came back and wailed. Like, I cried. It's like I had been carrying one load like this past 18 months because I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't doing anything. I just felt like I had to keep her alive. I had to. You are failing in other areas. This is the one area you have to succeed in. So I cried. I sat on the floor like I was wailing. And then I picked up my Bible to pray. The next thing for me was just, okay, Father, Lord, this is me. No job. Now even the child I'm taking care of has been taken from, well, she wasn't taken from me, but she wasn't here anymore. So I didn't have purpose. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I prayed and I heard very, very clearly, what is in your hands? And I looked. It's not like there was anything
Powerful.
particular, you know. But I was so sure about what I had. So I said, okay, what is actually in my hands? It was my baby. Like, that's what was in my heart, in my soul, in my spirit, everything. And then I liked writing. So I said, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but since she's the one in my hand and she's not even here right now, let me write how I'm feeling. So I was writing, I'll tear the paper so that nobody will see it, all the anger and everything. And then there was Instagram. This was 6 years ago. So I just said, let me just open an anonymous page and just be journaling. Nobody knows me. Instead of writing on paper here, writing on book here, let me just start an online journal. So Mom Confessions started and it was anonymous at the time.
Wow.
And that's why it's called Mom.
I can relate.
Well,
I can relate to
sorry.
that writing anonymously.
Honestly, it's easier to just point without thinking. So that's what I did. And gradually, so I committed to just to give myself something to do, on purpose. I said, okay, you write for 1 hour every day. So as you pray, it was a sort of prayer and therapy for me. Just write it all out. Because I realized I was feeling like that every time I just cried on paper, basically. And then gradually, my writings actually started getting happier. I was writing about her day and saying, she came back from school today. Next thing, one person followed me, and another person. No, I can relate to that story. This happened to me too. And that's how my journey started. At that point, I'll never have thought I would be a therapist today. But that's how my whole journey started. And we're here today.
Wow. Hey. Wow. Please, as you're listening, right? Anything that jumps at you, just write it in the chat. And if you have any question for us, please don't fail to ask. Okay? Don't fail to ask. We will take it. Just use the question mark icon there and write. And please share this live, share this video. Click the 3 dots beside the comment section and share this video. We just started and it's already hot in here. Like, there's so much you have said in such a short time. And there is so much to glean from what you have said. You said that you were numb after giving birth to your child. You were numb. You had gone through a defining experience. You had gone through I would say, I don't know if I don't even need to ask you how the childbirth was. But to a large extent, it may have been that it was traumatic, it was traumatizing, or something happened, or you were, because when I had my first child, I literally was pushing. I was pushing normal push. I got to 10 cm dilation. It took me to the labor room. I was pushing, and I can't remember anything that happened after that. It was my doctor who explained to me that I passed out. Yes, so they rushed me to the theater, right? And after I gave birth, according to them, they brought my baby. And I said, do I have a baby? Was I pregnant? So I now entered shock. They now had to take the baby away, and they now started trying to revive me. And for 24 hours, I didn't come back to life. When I now finally gained my consciousness, I was having spasms. Do you understand? Like, my back. I'm not even joking. I would just tell, don't shout. My back would just hook me. Sharp pain. All my muscles would just, Then my body was swelling. I was like ×3 of my size. Water was coming. I don't know where it was coming from. I could not urinate. I could not. If you see it, if you see me. So I was traumatized after my first child. So I can relate with what you are saying, where you say you were numb. For me, I wasn't numb, but I just felt I would not have that child again. Like the experience was so traumatizing, right? And I'm sure mommies here can relate, but we will still end up going to have that child anyway. But what I want to pick from what you said is that trauma is real. And when trauma happens, we all respond differently. In your own case, you were numb, right? So you were not feeling, you didn't have the capacity to feel emotion. Because the deepest feeling is the deepest emotion is like, it can be likened to that of a mother and a child. And here you are at the point where everybody is celebrating you and say, hey, congratulations, and you're not. You cannot even feel anything. It is plenty people's reality. For some, it might not be childbirth. For some, it's just that they went through a traumatic, an experience that was so traumatizing that since then they've not recovered. They are just numb. They don't feel anything. They don't expect anything. They're just there. So I wanted to pick that out. And then the effects of what you went through, the effects of the trauma were plenty, to the extent that you now even resigned from your job. Job had not even do you anything. The job did not do you anything. The job was on its own. You went to resign because effects of trauma are real and they can be deadly. Let's go to the next point. You said, unfortunately, you kept seeing emails. Unfortunately. In those emails, I'm sure there were emails that were positive. But because your focus was on the negative, you just kept seeing the unfortunately. And of course, where focus goes, energy flows and focus expands. Before you know, you're like, hey, you now said, why is my life like this? Negative thoughts. Let's go to negative thoughts. Why is my life like this? Why is my own like this? I'm not a good mother. I'm not a this. Thank God for your husband that said, you need to find yours. In other words, you need to live again. Because this way they do like this. Not be the wife why I married with this. And then, where's my wife? The man wanted his wife back. And he said, you need to find yourself again. And there's something to pick from there. Who do you have around you when you are in your state of merely existing? The person you have around you can determine if you would continue to merely exist or you will begin to truly live and find yourself again. So I wanted to pick that one. Then you said you cried. You cried for the first time in a very long time. You cried. And that is release. That is release. Many times we are afraid to cry. Someone is saying, I've not been myself after my second child. I can't even think straight. It's like the whole thing is falling apart. Don't worry. You will live again. Just stay tuned. You will live again. Just focus on what we're saying. You will live again. Thank you for sharing. So you cried and that was released. Sometimes we're being too strong for ourselves. We are overdoing it. You had to cry. And that cry was not weakness. It was a sign of strength. Because after you cried, a lot of things, you released some things after you cried. And I had to point that out. Was that true? You released some things when you cried, right?
So true.
So don't be afraid to cry. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, even if you have to lock yourself in the toilet and cry, please do. Because crying is therapeutic, right? For anybody listening to me, know that you not be crying every day. You not be a crying. They don't know you as cry baby. They don't name you AKA cry baby. No. When you finish crying, you clear your eye and move on. That's it. But you don't be afraid to cry. Don't deny your emotion. Jesus wept. Jesus, that we are all doing Jesus, he wept. So don't deny your emotion. God gave you your emotion for a reason. And the last thing I want to pick there is, what is in your hands? What is in your hands? A lot of times, many people, especially women in abusive marriages, women that are in distressing situations, women that are in difficult situations, they tend to think, I don't have anything. I don't have anybody. I don't have anything. There is no human being that God created that does not have anything. No human being. Yeah, it does not exist. No human being. The Bible says, to him that has, more will be given. To him that does not have, that which he has will be taken away. How can someone that does not have, something will now be taken away from the person? Right? That means you actually have, but you don't know. You are not aware. You'd have, but you don't know. And most times from experience, it takes the Holy Spirit to highlight this thing to you. It takes you disconnecting from the busyness, from the noise in your head, just going alone to hear from God and spend time with God for you to really understand that thing that you have that you may not be able to see. In your case, it was writing. In your case, it was your baby, right? But writing about how you feel. And you said you started to write how you felt. And when people say things like, I can't share because I don't want to share my story, you can share anonymously. When God puts something in your heart, I started the Live Again movement, and like when I started the Live Again, no, that's not even the one. So I started the domestic violence show before I started Live Again movement. Yes, I'm the invisible person that is behind that page. I'm the anonymous person behind that page. I had come through out of domestic violence, and I didn't want to share my story yet. But I wanted to help women. I didn't want women to go through what I was going through. So I started the domestic violence show. My picture is not there. You cannot even see my face. But I was just sharing. It's not too late for you to live. Live to live. As in, don't die there. Don't. At least I was sharing. That's one thing about God. When God puts something in your heart, just do it. I put up a post yesterday about Nathan Ebasi and the guy that sang Finally. Just do it. Nathan Ebasi just started the Hallelujah Challenge. It was obedience. From less than 10K followers to almost 4 million followers. Now, currently. Then the guy that they brought to come and sing Finally, actually God told him to sow a seed last year and empty his account to Nathaniel Bassey's Hallelujah Challenge. Can you imagine? Then a year after, he came and sang on the stage. See, when God tells you to do something, yeah, what were you saying? Just do it, right? That's what you said.
Yeah. Once God tells you to do it, just do it.
Just do it. Trust. Stop trying to overanalyze everything. The Bible says the just shall live by faith, not by overanalysis. If not, it's not in the Bible. You are the analyst, you are the chief analyst. You want to figure out everything about your life, and your head just wants to burst. Please, as you are listening to us like this, stop trying to figure out everything. What saved me from that over figuring out was Jeremiah 29 verse 11 message translation. I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. I lost the desire to know what I'm doing. I said, Lord, even if I don't know what I'm doing, as far as you know what you are doing, I'm fine.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. So yeah, you said you found something to do. You started writing. Writing. You said write it all out. When you write it, you feel better, right? You say when you write it, you feel better. And what I wrote there is when you say you don't have anybody, the truth is that you actually have something in your hand. And that something in your hand is actually what you need for that moment, right? So if you're listening to me and you're like, oh, I'm going through a lot, it might not even be marriage, it might be life. Nigeria is happening. Things are happening in the whole world. You have something in your hand. But many times you have to look inward because it's not something that you can see most times on the outside. So thank you for sharing that. I had to bring out the nuggets in what you said because they were very, very powerful. Next question. Why is it important to live again? So from your experience now, you're doing this. You never even thought you were going to get to this point with Mom Confessions. It was something you just started based on, well, let me just do this thing that is in my hand, right? And today, looking at the journey, looking at the fact that now you've now become a therapist, you've now become a counselor, you've now become someone that helps other people, you hold sessions, you do all of these things. I mean, we're speaking about having a mom drive some hours ago before we came on air, right? You're always doing things to help mothers. What's that feeling like? And why, looking back, why is it important to live again for somebody who is like, you know what, please just allow me to just be existing. You don't know how this is doing me. Speak to that. Why is it important to live again?
First, you deserve to be happy. You know, it's God's desire for us to be happy, to live in. One of my favorite scriptures is 1 John 3:2, where he desires for us to, prosper
and be in
health.
health.
Even as our soul prospers, our soul prospering is our soul being joyful, our soul being happy. That's God's desire for us. We deserve to be happy. We deserve to live in hope. So that's why we should live again. And it all starts with making that decision, making a decision that I want to live again. That's all it just starts with. Like, you
Sincerely.
don't even have to do, just decide
Sincerely.
that
Decide.
I want
Yeah.
this. From there, everything will just happen. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to live in purpose and be who God created you to be. What else are we here on earth for? We're not here to suffer till the end. God created us for a purpose. So let's fulfill that. I think that's the main reason why.
Yeah, you deserve to be happy. And I like what you said. It starts with a decision, because many times we think, just like people that do business, maybe your business, something happened in your business, you're like, I need capital. I need capital. And then we think, okay, when something happens to us and we want to live again, we need a lot of things to live again. We need like a house, we need like a big job, we need like one big thing, we need like 1 million naira, 2 million naira, or depend on the money. Money is good though, and that one is, we do that
Good.
through Live Again Foundation. We
Needed.
don't help any woman live again without helping her live again financially, because without the financial part, you cannot sustain your live again journey, right? It's important, but that's not the main thing. That's not
Yeah.
the main thing, right? The decision is the main thing. When you decide, many women underrate themselves. You are powerful beyond measure. You are not just this body. You are more than this body. You are more than I'm a married woman. You are more than I have children. You are more than a job. You are more than whatever status, achievement, or whatever it is that you have, taken and said, this is me. There is someone that, there is a you that God created before life happened, right? And that is why the Live Again, what we do at the Live Again movement is powerful. And the Live Again outreach we're organizing, one of the main reasons why we're doing this is because a lot of women have settled. You know what it means to settle. You just told yourself that, you know what, nothing, there's not, you see, there's not, like, people should live out this thing. There's nothing. You've decided to settle. You've decided to accept nonsense. You've decided to manage. You've decided, and let me balance it. Managing is good, but you've decided to manage rubbish. And when Jesus Christ came to die and they beat him koboko, they dealt with him, they bruised him, they injured him. They did not do all of those things for you to now come and be existing.
You discovering. No.
He was not beaten so that you will now be beaten. Right?
At all.
He
There's more
died that
to this.
you will live. He's living
Mm-hmm.
so that you will live. Then he's living. Then you now choose to be a walking dead. Error.
No.
Error. Decision is powerful. Decision is powerful. Once you decide, look, listen to me. If you are hearing me clearly, watching me and wondering, who is this woman that is shouting, reduce your voice? No, I will not reduce my voice. I will not reduce my voice, because you are powerful. You are more powerful than you think. But you have been looking at your circumstances. You've been looking at what is happening around you. You have looked at your life and your background. For you don't know that your life is more. The Bible says a man's life does not consist in the abundance of the things he possesses. Your life is not, anything can happen to your laptop today, your car tomorrow, your house, your phone is working today, it stops working. What was raining when I was a young girl? I'm still a young girl. Let me not go be doing old man things. I'm still a young girl. But what was raining when I was a teenager? It's not what is raining now.
Oh,
People that went to go and steal money to buy 504, they cannot drive 504 today.
Imagine.
Or
Blackberry.
So everything you are killing yourself for is coming to pass. The only thing that is static and is the reality, the real reality, is Christ. That's the only reality. So when you decide, I want to live again, yes, life has happened to me. Life has knocked me down, but I will get back up. I will live again. That decision is powerful enough to power every other thing. Even your environment is listening to you when you decide all these things. Even when it is in your mind. If the environment is hearing, your thoughts are powerful. They are transmitting waves like radio frequency. Yeah. So everything you are deciding in your mind and in your words, they are actually powerful. So if you decide, I will exist, that is what you will have. If you decide, I will live again, that is what you will have. Thank you for sharing that. And like you said, God created you for a purpose. I want to invite every woman listening to me, please, I beg in the name of God, Some of you, your parents slept, your grandparents slept, your great-grandparents slept, your great-great-grandparents slept, and the enemy came and sowed tares in your family, your lineage with. Some of you are wounded and you have stayed like that. You have been using plaster to cover the wound instead of you to open the wound and treat it. This year is not the kind of year that you will continue to merely exist, because if you merely exist this year is the first year of the rest of the 7 years that is remaining in the decade. So it is very, very powerful and pivotal. Anything you do now, anything you settle for now, you will see it throughout the decade in a magnified way. So let me beg you. Let me beg you. It is time to live again. God said to me, it is time for my daughters to rebuild the desolations of many generations. It is time for restoration. It is time for revival. It is time for an awakening. And that's why the Live Again outreach is happening. I beg you, I beg you in the name of God, register for the Live Again outreach. It's free, oh. It is free of charge. We are spending so much money on hall, on grants. We are giving grants to 20 women. We are giving 200K to one mother. We are giving one mother a free business grant registration. We are giving 40 women free massage. Yes, free massage, 40 women. We are giving free food stuff, free makeover. So we're going to have makeup artists that will make the women up to restore their self-esteem and self-confidence. We are doing free fashion styling, free hairstyling, free food stuff, free legal counsel. If you need lawyers, if you are going through something and you need lawyers that you will talk to, our legal practitioners will be there. Free medical screening, blood sugar, clinical, breast, everything, breast cancer is there. It's a total package. God said he wants the women that come for the outreach to know that he loves them, because many of them feel that he doesn't love them. That's what God said. So we're not reducing anything. We're giving God's daughters the best of the best of the best. And when we finish, we are going to dance and have fun. We even have 2 cakes to cut. We have gifts. We have bed sheets to give out. We have organic products. We have food stuff. We have so many things to take away. Again, anybody that comes to the house is going to get a free copy of the 12-step guide to live again book. Like, even me, when God gave me this project, I said, Father Lord, which kind of, because for 2 years it's huge. Hey, but I thank God, because when God is not, to tell that God is not joking about his daughters. You know why? Like I said in the post that I shared with you, women are a huge part of God's end time move. And what is the devil doing? The devil is plaguing many of them. Like I described to my son the other day, like they're you know, when somebody puts load on somebody's back, you know, when somebody cannot stand. That's what the devil is doing. And that load comes in different forms. It can be emotional baggage, it can be guilt, shame, bitterness, unforgiveness. You are a breadwinner of the family, you are going through postpartum depression. It can come in any form, but the goal is to steal, kill, and destroy. And God is saying, I have come that you will have life, and life abundantly. Because any life you are living that is not equal to life abundantly is not the life. That's not it yet. Until you get to life abundantly, you are not living, you are existing. And that is why you have to attend the Live Again outreach. If you want to register, please, liveagain.com.ng/outreach. Let us continue, because that is not the, you now come and stay here and stay. We have other things to learn, other things to discuss, and time is running. So now the next question, how do you handle pain? Because we have different ways of handling pain. For some people, like you said, when you had your child, you just numb. For some people, they deny the pain. They don't accept it. They don't say, I beg you, I'm a child of God. I love the Lord. And then they come to God's prayer and say, Lord, I love you. Meanwhile, they're in pain. Meanwhile, pain is a tool. It's not something you build your house and go and build the duplex there. So tell us, as someone who has gone through this journey, you've been on the other side, you're now, you have trained to be a therapist and a counselor and everything. How do you handle pain? Like now, how do you handle pain? What do you do when you, because of course you go through pain. Everybody goes through pain. Yeah, but how do you handle it?
So I've learned to, how do I describe this? I've learned to sit with my pain, like just sit there embrace it, accept it, understand it, and that helps me process my feelings better. So instead of now being numb or getting angry, or sitting with my pain helps me analyze it in such a way that I can process my emotions differently. I'm now more in control of how I express my pain. So I think that's the first thing. Then I pray. Of course, I believe that God knows everything that happens even before it happens to us.
Absolutely.
Then he must have allowed it for a reason. Whether he thinks I'm strong enough, or there's something to learn, or there's something bigger for me from this pain, or that rejection is because it wasn't for me. I'm at a point where I believe that God wouldn't have allowed it if it wasn't going to play out in my favor. So sitting with my pain, trusting God, like committing it to God. Even if I want to cry to God, I'm just like, okay, well, I know you allowed this happen. So I think all of that has helped me process my emotions better. I don't feel terrible when painful or sad things happen right now. And then journaling. I still write. So when I journal, it just gives me clarity, and I'm just like, okay. And then when I see it later, I say, this is why this happened, though. Sometimes I journal just so that my testimony will be more interesting, because for every pain, I know that there's a bigger testimony ahead. So that's the
Hey,
point.
oh my God. Because one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, would you describe yourself as a resilient woman? I'm not going to ask you because you are. You are. There was something you said just now that I said this woman is a resilient woman. You said you want to know if there's something you can learn from it. And that's one thing that many people do not do. You go through pain and you just think the pain just came. You just think, oh, I'm just going through pain. Oh, like you're living your life like a statistic. You're living your life, anything goes, anything goes. What to be will be. No, you are not just everything that is happening to you. It's you are not just a human being that is just a human being. You are a human being that carries a purpose. Like you will not even be alive today if you don't have a purpose. So when
So
something happens to you, you need to, like you said you try to understand the pain. You sit with the pain and say, okay, why am I feeling this pain? Because like I always say, that pain comes to show you, it comes to make you uncomfortable. It comes to show you that something is not right. Something is
exactly.
off. It's a pointer, it's an indicator. It's like, it's like a traffic light. Like it just shows you something is not okay, right? And then you said you sit with the pain, and then you understand it. You want to say something?
No. I'm
You,
listening.
you sit with the pain, you understand it, and then you try to analyze the pain. Pain is one thing you are allowed to analyze, because pain comes pregnant, pain comes loaded, pain comes heavy. It carries weight, it carries energy, it carries passion. If you are able to analyze that pain and ride on that passion, you will find yourself at the other end of purpose. And see what you just said now. You said you take it to God, you pray. Many times when we go to God, we keep our pain outside the door. Then we enter the presence of God. Then we form resilience. We think that resilience is Odeshi. Resilience is nothing they
Not,
happen.
not
Eh,
we scared of- So let's carry everything
eh,
back to him.
let's just give God the pain. Carry that
Let's
pain
give
and go, and he said, come out to me. Abi,
him.
all you that are labored and heavy laden. Abi, I will give you rest. How will I give you rest? Take my yoke upon me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. So you give him your pain, and he will give you his own yoke. And his yoke is not heavy. His own is light. It's your own that is heavy.
It
So
is.
give God your pain. Stop coming to God and forming, oh, hello, Lord, I love you. Meanwhile, in your mind, you're like, God, I don't love you. In fact, right now, I'm so angry. My husband has annoyed me. My children are getting on my nerves. I'm even tired. Come and express that anger to God. Give him how it is. Then now ask him to help you. Stop coming. Let's stop doing this, coming to God, forming Don Jazzy, forming Abidon Dada. Let's stop it. Let's just stop it. This is
God, even
2024.
yeah. He
You said what?
already knows. I
He
said, God knows
already,
what you are going through. So why not just
my sister. You know, I always
there's
tell my children, I say, you are forming, you want to come and form for a God that knew you before your parents knew you. I don't understand. Before they even saw your nakedness, he knew you.
that's
Then you will
it.
not come and say, oh Lord, oh Jesus, oh
It's a
God.
waste of opportunity.
You understand? So if you are listening to us, please, one thing you should take away from this thing that we're saying now is you can check it and see that things are happening, right? The whole earth is just doing one kind. Please, God, when you come to God, stop trying to form strong. That's where you come and unburden. Let God be your therapist. Then when you now finish doing therapy with God, if he wants to direct you to a physical or human being therapist, he will put a therapist in your heart. Because many times we now go and tell the wrong people things and say, oh, look at someone I told, because you have not gone to God first. You went to somebody first. Go to God first. God will point to you, your coach, your teachers, your therapist, and all of that. So thank you for sharing that. Then you said journaling. Okay. So for someone listening, journaling can also help you deal with pain. So I won't ask you about being resilient because you are, right? And for someone who is listening to me, one of the ways you can be resilient is to learn from your pain, learn from your experiences so that you can get the value there. That's why you sell books. People sell books from the experience they learned, from the lesson they learned. They sell books, they sell courses, they sell all these things. So there is literally profit in your pain. And in the Live Again out, one of the things I'm going to be teaching women is how to profit from your pain, how to use that bad experience that happened to you to convert it into purpose and begin to profit from it and use it to build yourself again, to live again. So if you've not registered, please go to link in my bio and register. Then you said something, I wanted to ask you something about um, understanding the pain. How do you understand the pain? So as a therapist now, how do you, when you want to process pain, you say process, because processing is vital to ensure that trauma does not remain there.
Exactly.
So can you tell someone listening how to process pain, how to understand pain? What are the things to do?
Basically, for me, is asking yourself why you think this happened. Because somehow, man is a meaning making machine. Like we have meanings, we have an explanation for
Everything,
everything. Consciously,
yes.
we've
Yes, absolutely.
already have it. So ask yourself why. Okay, let me share something that happened to me last year. Last year or the year before, okay, so I run Mom Confessions. You know how Mom Confessions is. I tried working with a couple of people, but they get overwhelmed with the DMs and then the messages.
Mm.
Lots of domestic violence cases.
Oh,
Domestic violence. We don't post those because women want you to believe them. So they send the pictures, and they are all so gory. You see a woman's eye like this or bloodied, mouth, teeth broken. So everybody I try to work with always got overwhelmed. And they'll say, oh, that they can't do it. So I could not sleep at night. And so there's a process. I'm so happy I met you actually. I'm knowing what you do now. So we usually refer them, to like
yeah,
LSDBA,
yeah.
FIDA, different organizations. But it was getting a lot for everybody that I tried to work with. So out of my head, just like the easiest way out of this is to have a platform where people can just share their stories directly and it doesn't have to go through the DM. That's what my human mind was thinking. I spent a lot of money in 2022 building a website, and I was going to do an app because somebody had suggested an app. I was just like convincing people to start downloading apps again. Let me do a website. So I just clicked the link in bio, and so this website had many interfaces. There was like the front end, then there was like different groups, then there was private. It was very sophisticated. I spent a lot of money doing this. There was a soft launch, like I had a webinar Zoom thing. We launched it, but somehow I got busy at that point, so I wasn't even pushing it as much. But I was trying to encourage people to use the website. People are still sending DMs. That's what they are used to. At the end of last year, I gave up on the website, and this was a lot of money I had spent. that just went. So I was thinking, and at that point, I was just like, Father Lord, I wanted to stop this Mom Confessions since
Hey,
actually when I
don't
healed,
stop. Oh.
when I felt better, get free, I was ready to stop because it's not.
It's
There's
a
problems in
lot.
this
I
world.
know. I know. And just to pause you there, right? We
Mhm.
have a shelter, and there are many times that somebody will reach out, like, oh, reach out to us and all of that.
Yeah,
We have a shelter where we house, women that are in abusive situations and all of that. And the truth of the matter is this: it's a lot.
it
It
is.
is.
It
It
is.
is. It actually is. And not everybody is, me and you now, we are called to women. We are called to helping them. Even when it is a lot, we still find strength to keep doing it. But you will not say the same for somebody else, right?
Yes.
And then sometimes it can even be the way these women behave. And sorry if you are listening to us, if you are part of people that behave somehow, please understand that we are doing this work. The reason why we are doing the work is because God called us to do it.
That's
It's not
the
easy
reason.
for us.
Honestly,
Well,
that's the only reason.
it's not easy for us. Don't think one lady sent me a message one day. She said, she needs to buy one thing. The thing she asked me she wanted to buy for her child. I have never bought it for my child.
Imagine. So
But I
there's
was
that.
raising money for her. And she thought because I was raising money for her, I have one stash of money somewhere. No. In fact, let me tell you something that happened to me that changed my mindset about helping women for life, that made me to continue helping women, because I understood it was not my power. A
Mm-hmm.
woman that I knew that lost her child, right? We had prayed and everything. She called me one day, oh, the child is dying. We prayed, pastors prayed, different people prayed, the child still died. So I knew her story. So one day she called me to say, oh, she was having another child and she was in the hospital. In fact, she had had the child already, but she had a CS and she couldn't pay her bills. And every time she was in the hospital, every day, the money
You.
was increasing. So when she reached out to me, I did not have a dime. This was like 4 years ago. I didn't have a dime in my account. And she said, what if you post it on your WhatsApp or your page, please? And I said, okay, no problem. I had a weakness in my spirit, and that was what I should have done. That was what I should do. So I posted it. It was not up to 1 hour. People were reaching out to me, please. Had that woman, how far? Has she paid? What is her account number?
Wow.
We raised the money in 1 hour. We raised
Wow.
the money in 1 hour. That was the day that I realized that I don't need to have money to help people. I just need to have the heart to help people. Although God is also putting me in the money part where he gives me money to help people. Just give me money. You don't tell me this money I'm giving you is for this person, it's for this project, it's for this one, it's for even this outreach. He has given me my own quota to. So what I'm trying to say is that women are going through a lot, and we that are helping women, we are also going through a lot. That's what I'm just trying to say. So when you come to us and you send us messages, also know that we are also going through our own,
But
but we have chosen to live again so that we can help you. So that's why you have to live again so that you can also help other women tomorrow. Yeah.
exactly.
So continue, sis. Continue.
Yeah. So um, at the end of last year, like October, I just decided, okay, I need to stop servicing this website because, of course, I was paying monthly and all. Like after the whole initial, I don't know how it works. Yeah. So that day in October, I just asked God. So first I sat, I was in so much pain. Like, okay, this money I spent on this, I could have used it for something else. If I had given it, I would have felt better.
Yeah.
So I thought about it and I was not like, why did I do it? And I realized that I did not even like analyze the whole thing. It was just a thought off the top of my head. I did not pray about it. I did not say, okay, oh God, you gave me
Because I
this
wanted
vision.
to ask you that. Did you pray about it before
I
you
did
started?
pray. It was all flashy. I get. I just entered my head and I ran with it. So I realized that I did not even analyze it. Okay, build the website. What next? What's your plan? Is this God's will? So to process your pain, I think you have to ask yourself questions, sit
Questioning.
through, question it, and analyze it. And once you have your answer, or non-answer, sometimes you may not get, but you'll get clarity, and
Yes.
it will help
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes. I think one thing I'm going to say, because that questioning is very powerful, and it's even why I started. It's one thing that helped me when I went through what I went through. I started asking, why did I go through abuse? When I'm a beautiful girl, I'm intelligent, I have, I have sense. Why didn't I know? What happened? Why did that kind of thing? I asked question. I
Yeah.
was asking why? And I realized it was deeper than what you say. Oh, I will never ever this. God forbid. It's not my portion. It's not my this. There are things in your heart that you will produce. There are things you are carrying, baggages from things you witnessed as a child, childhood trauma, things that you saw growing up that you have even forgotten, but is in your subconscious.
It's
The Bible
already.
says, yes, out of the guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. So for me, it was from my heart that the devil was able to do everything that he did. That was even where I attracted an abuser in the first place. So you don't just marry an abuser, you attract an abuser. There's something in you that attracts that person. And until you deal with that thing, it's not just about living. After living, I always say that you left Egypt does not mean that Egypt will leave you or Egypt has left you. So you have to detoxify Egypt out of your system. Otherwise, you will keep sabotaging yourself, your mind. I'm not good enough. Anything you do, you just keep second guessing yourself. Even your job, you don't be doing it one kind. Your business, you don't be attracting the right kind of customers. You don't feel as if, let's just do the business. There are things inside you. Even when you think you are even okay, that you think, okay, I'm fine. There are things inside you that you're not aware of. And that's why you have to attend the outreach. I'll continue shouting. Register with link in my bio, because this is the year for you to live again. Next
Amen.
question. Next question. So it's the last question. What would you say to a woman that is merely existing or finding it difficult to live, to truly live? They've heard us. In fact, they've heard plenty people. Then they've heard us today. And they're still like, oh, you don't understand. First of all, this guy takes care of me. He's not my husband, but he takes care of me. Or this man, if I leave him today, he beats me, oh, but if I leave him, it is the finish for me. Or, I don't know, I don't have anything. And they're still saying, oh, I don't even have anything. I don't have anyone. I don't have anybody. All those, hopeless situations and helplessness. What would you say to that? But before you answer that question, what would you say to your 10-year-old self? What would you say to your 10-year-old self? Looking back, what would you say to her? I feel like you're a so let me describe you. You're an introvert, you're a quiet person, you're very calm. So I can imagine how your 10-year-old self was.
Yeah. Live session. My 10-year-old self. I was just into secondary school. I'll tell her that life is beautiful. I think starting at that age, to start believing good things will really help who that 10-year-old self turns out to be. Be curious, ask questions. So I grew up being that girl that would do what I was told. I'm a first child.
People pleaser. Most firstborns are people pleasers. Most firstborns. Most
I'll tell
firstborns.
curious, break some rules, not bad rules, but just push
Yeah.
those boundaries.
Yeah. Be
I see where it's
fearless.
be fearless,
Wow.
be
Amazing.
courageous.
So
And
last words. Okay, I said
last
something
word.
else. But you
No,
still speaking.
no,
Yeah.
no.
So last word for a woman that is, merely existing and finding it difficult to live again. And please, if you learned anything, please type it in the comments. Something that jumped at you when we were speaking, type it in the comments. Yeah, go ahead, sis.
To any woman, I'll say you're not alone. I think that's the thing to just tell yourself you're not alone. Before I started following you recently actually, and I've seen all sorts of stories on your page on this Live Again series, and I'm sure every woman will find in one dimension or another in all of these stories. So just know that you're not alone. You're not the only one going through any pain. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you have to make that decision to live. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to flourish.
Yeah.
It's nice being on this other side. You deserve to heal. You can start your healing journey just by making that decision.
Yeah.
Set small goals, even if it's okay. And now that there's the internet, it simplified everything.
Honestly
You know,
speaking,
everything
you can Google
is
anything.
everything. YouTube, learn something, but just make that decision and then set a goal, small goals to do something every day towards your future self. You can live again. You will live again.
Oh, let's sing this song that children sing. I love you.
I
You
love
love me. I really love you. I love your spirit. I love your
I love
calmness. I love your depth. You see, if you are listening to us, the truth of the matter is this: it's a challenging journey. Purpose is a challenging journey. Living again is hard. And I have to say this. I always say this to women. Living again is hard. But it's that kind of hard that your generations unborn will say there was a woman. Her name was this. She paid the price. Because she lived, I can live. Because she did not settle for rubbish. I can. Do you understand? So it is hard, but it's hard because those that were coming before you, they did not do what they were supposed to do. They did not know what they're supposed to do. Not that they just felt like not doing it. Many of them were not even aware. Many of them did not know all these things that we are learning today. So please don't settle. Please, I beg you. It's not only you that is affected when you choose to barely exist. The woman that poisoned herself and her two kids. I don't know if you saw that video on my page. I was sad for days because I said this woman quarreled with her husband and poisoned herself and her two kids. I'm not
Imagine.
blaming her for her pain, but these two kids are innocent children. You did not bring them to this world. You don't even know what they're going to become tomorrow. If you want to
So
poison yourself and you poison yourself and go, okay, we'll understand. We will be angry or we will not be happy. But you carried yourself and went. Then you carried two living beings
so
that did not
friend.
do anything. They were only unfortunate to be your children. Ah! So when you are barely existing, it's not only you that suffers, oh. Everyone and everything connected to you will be merely existing until you wake up. It is time for you to wake up. It is time for you
This
to live
living.
again. You are alive for such a time as this. You are
Yes.
alive because God wants you to rewrite the story of your lineage. It is time.
Mm-hmm.
It is time. Please, if you have not registered for the Live Again outreach, click the link in my bio. It's liveagain.com.ng/outreach. It's completely free, but registration is compulsory. Somebody is saying what they learned. My happiness should not be dependent. I will live again. Yes. Someone says,
Yes.
I learned that help comes from anywhere and anyone, so I should always speak up. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. We have to go now. It's been an amazing time. We wish we could stay here forever. We have so many things to talk about, and I'm sure that maybe we can even do like a session one day where we just come and women can just onboarding and then we give them
That
sort of advice. Yes,
would
because I can feel the weight of the burden that women are going through. And sometimes when I'm praying, I'm crying because I can feel it in my chest. Like women are going through a lot, a lot,
so much.
a lot. Many of them spoke. No, it's a physical outreach. For those in Lagos alone, it's not going to be streamed at all because we will only stream some of the activities, but we're not streaming because we're going to be doing a lot of soul cleansing and onboarding and just sharing. And there'll be tears, there'll be ugly tears, but there's no forming. It's a no forming zone. You're going to meet new sisters that day. You will meet women like you, like Mom Confession said. It's not only you that is going through what you are going through. You will see it that day. The Bible says that there is no temptation that is common to man. You think you are the only one going through because the devil has made you believe you are the only one, and that is his specialty. He will now magnify the thing. He will now make it big, right? He will now make it look like it's only you. Oh, your own is bad. It's a lie. It's not only you. I'm telling you, it's not only you. Amen to that. We will come to the UK soon. God will do it. Live
Amen.
Again is coming to the UK this year by the grace of
Amen.
God. Right? So that is it. You need to live again. If you don't live again, it's not only you that is affected, it is everyone. In fact, when I traced my abuse, I traced it to my mother. My mother was abused and I was observing it. So even though I was saying, me, God forbid though, I can't remember that abuses man, I cannot, God forbid though, I still married an abuser. And in fact, he did worse than my father. Because for every generation that is coming, after that generation, it's always worse. Whatever you don't deal with now will be worse for those that come after. So that's why you cannot afford to keep pain aside and say, let's just continue just do as if we're all right, we're okay. Pain that is not processed, is not acknowledged, is not accepted, is not felt, is not dealt with, will end up being transferred to the next generation, because it will now become what we call generational trauma. So please, I beg you, you have suffered enough. If you really say that you have suffered enough, one of the ways that you will know that, I'm tired of this thing, is that you say, I will live again. You don't do. You don't do. This nonsense must stop.
Yes.
It must stop. And don't think like Esther, like Monica told us, don't think that you're safe for in the palace. Whatever palace you have built, maybe your husband has a duplex. He bought you one very big car that has AC. Or, you know that what happened with Femi Olaleye, that the man raped his niece. And people say that the woman should have covered it. That is a classic case of when you cover rubbish. Years to come, there will be problem in your lineage. People will be wondering, what happened now? Because somebody was unjust to somebody, and God is a God of justice. Please, you deserve better. You deserve to live again. It is time for you to live again. Thank you so much. We have to go. Do you have to say something?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much for joining. We'll leave the replay on the page so that you can watch it and, share it with other people. Don't forget to register for the Live Again outreach. It's liveagain.com.ng/outreach. God bless you, and please live again. It is time. This is your time. No more existing. No more existing. God bless you. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye-bye.